Hi, this is Mashnu, and I would like to show you this time a different type of middle game. In the middle game training series that I've done, I chose mostly for quite, let's say, positional play. So, with the idea that it's very important to know how to make a plan in the middle game. So, based on strategical ideas. But there is another type of middle game, of course, that we can meet, and that is the more, let's say, tactical middle games. And it's very important when we meet this type of middle games to be able to calculate accurately and to visualize moves. So what I want to do is to show you this example, and this position comes from a game that was played in 1920 in the Soviet Championships, the first round between two grandmasters, Romanovsky and Levenfish, and it's white to move here, and I would like to ask you to pause the video and then think for about 5 minutes, calculate some variations, and see if you can find the best moves for white here. I'll show you the last move of black here. The last move of black was rook to d8, okay? Rook d7 d8. That's the last move of black. So you can pause the video now, and then I'm going to continue the explanation in a few moments. Alright, so let's have a look what's going on here. This rook to d8 move, we see, of course, the vulnerable position of this king on g4, and there is a very direct threat of black. Rook to g8 check, followed by mate in a few moves. The threat is rook to g8 check, king must go to h5, then rook to h8 check. If the king goes back to g4, and that's actually the only option, then, well, we have queen h7, but let's not consider that. After the king goes back, then there is rook to h4 checkmate, since this pawn on g3 is pinned. Let me show you this moving the pieces. So let's say white plays here rook to b2, for example, rook b2, then rook to g8 check, king h5, rook h8, and now king to g4, rook h4 is checkmate. So that's black's threat. I'll return to the initial position now after rook to d8. So that means that we need either to stop the threat or to create an even bigger threat with white. Now let's have a look at our own pieces. We have these two nice rooks on the b file, and if it was here, let's say that with white we could do two moves one after the other without a counter move, then rook to b7, rook b8 check, king c7, rook b1 to b7 checkmate. Alright, so we have a potential mating pattern there. But of course, if we take simply on b7, rook takes b7, then black checkmates us. So we need to stop this threat. Now, how to do this? In the game, the move queen to h7 was played. Very strong move, taking care of this g8 square. But black replied rook to h8. So it looks like things are getting dangerous again. So what to do now? The queen is under attack. If we move the queen away back to d3, then of course rook to h4, we have the same mate pattern that we have seen. So we need something stronger, and the idea is to counterattack, and we need to calculate now very accurately. Try to follow this variation. Queen takes h8 check, a queen sacrifice. Bishop f6 takes h8, so he takes the queen. Then rook b3 takes b7. We are threatening mate in 2 with rook to b8 check, king to the 7th rank, and then rook b1 to b7 checkmate, right? Is there a way to save that for black? Pause the video and calculate if you can find a way to escape for black. So before we play this queen takes h8. Alright, I'll show you the rest of the game. It's really a very beautiful final phase of the game here. Queen takes h8 check, bishop takes h8, rook takes b7, and now an important moment. Many times when we calculate variations we overlook in between checks. We only think in the, let's say, primary way that we have a threat of mating 2, so black has to do something here on this part of the board, but that's not true. There is also the in-between move, and that's what black did here. Queen to e2 check. Now the king can take the pawn, can go to h4, can go to g5, different options, and in the game king to h4 was played. Now the queen went from e2 to a6. Suddenly black has found a defense. The idea is to take the rook on b7. So if now rook to b8, king c7, rook b1 to b7, then queen takes b7, rook takes b7, king takes b7, and black has a dangerous pass pawn here and another one here. Actually h2, h1 looks winning, right? So what to do? Pause the video again, see if you can find a way to win this game here with white. Alright, I'll show you the rest of the game. Rook to b8 check, indeed. King to c7, and now not the check on b7, because if we give this check on b7 then things go wrong. Then queen takes b7, rook takes b7, king takes b7, and we have some trouble. We need to take here on h3 because otherwise this pawn is going to advance, and now there is an endgame that, well, it is better for white, since this pawn can be stopped probably, and the king is close to the black pawns here, but it's not that convincing as what happened in the game. Let's have a look at what happened in the game. In this position, white found a very beautiful move, the move bishop to d2. Now in this position black resigned actually, but let's have a look why he resigned. The threat is of course bishop to a5 check, a very strong threat. If queen takes bishop, then rook b1 to b7 checkmate. Now there is no way to stop this bishop to a5, so let's say black plays h2 and we continue with bishop to a5 check. Now if we take on a5, then of course it's checkmating 1, but there is another option, king to d7. What happens next? There is rook b1 to b7 check. There is no other option than to give the queen, and now this is important, we take the queen with check. So after king to c8 we are on time to stop this passed pawn, this passed h pawn, and then the position is of course totally won, easily won for white. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this example, and it encourages you to calculate these tactical lines and find these beautiful surprising resources in your chess games. Alright, thanks for watching. Leave your comments on YouTube. Don't forget to rate the video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you can do it now. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.